Hey gamers, and welcome back! Pixels ready, snacks secured. Let's jump into this next demo dive. Today we're diving into a double whammy of high fantasy Anima Gate of Memories I&II Remaster on Steam. This is the ultimate edition of a title that always punched above its weight. It's time to see if this remaster has buffed its stats to earn a spot in your backlog. Quick context check, this is a third-person action RPG that draws its whole vibe from the deep lore of Anima Beyond Fantasy tabletop universe. And the best part? This remaster bundles Game 1 and Game 2 together. That's a serious amount of content for your fantasy fix. Developed by a tiny crew who clearly poured their hearts into the lore, this is a classic indie passion project writ large. Now, the art direction? That's absolutely S rank. It boasts this incredible moody aesthetic that gets a lot of comparisons to Nier. It's pure visual mana. And right out the gate, the lighting improvements in the remaster feel like a major quality of life upgrade. Everything looks brighter and smoother, like the game just hit its next ascension. Let's shift gears and talk about the narrative. If you're into world building, you've got a gold mine here. The lore inherited from the Anima Beyond Fantasy universe is genuinely OP. You've thrown right into a mysterious quest to discover the secrets of a Tower of Arcane wrapped into a war in the shadows that's super compelling. The main quest is engaging, though, I'll be honest, sometimes you can see the plot twist XP bar filling up a little early. The story beats might feel a bit classic JRPG, but hey, a good story is a good story, and this one has enough twist and character choices to keep you clicking for the next cutscene. It's certainly a massive effort for a small team, and you can feel the passion poured into every corner of Gaia. The voice acting is definitely distinctive.
What is it? Uneasy? That's not like you. You have nothing to fear. You are the bearer of calamities. You have at your disposal the most powerful...
It has a unique, slightly dramatic cadence that you might not expect. Think of it as a charming, slightly off-kilter dub from a beloved older anime. It's got that cult classic flavor, and you might find yourself warming up to it the longer you play. It adds a certain charm that you just don't get in big-budget AAA titles. Now, for our main crew, we have the Bearer of Calamities and the Ancient Monster Ergo. Their forced partnership in the core relationship goal of the game, and the dialogue between them is a big part of the journey. Their bickering adds a fun dynamic, though you have to appreciate their unique brand of banter.
You've got me!
Shut up.
Alright, let's talk about the mechanic that makes this game truly shine. The duel system. This is the real MVP of the whole package. You can seamlessly swap between Ergo and the Bearer mid-combo with just a single button press. It turns every encounter into a high-octane tag team match where timing is everything. You're not just trading blows, you're chaining animations across two characters to keep the damage meter spiking. The combat is truly a sandbox for experimentation. You can spend hours figuring out the perfect sequence. It's all about pressing the right button at the right moment to trigger those link skills. It absolutely rewards players who invest time into its deep skill trees, letting you customize your attack patterns until they feel perfectly tailored. You pull off a perfect extended string of attacks. It feels like an absolute critical hit of satisfaction. It feels powerful and expressive once you get the hang of the rhythm. Now for the mandatory skill checks, the boss fights here are designed to be massive tests of mastery. They hit like trucks, so you'll need to use all your iframes and character swapping wisely. They're certainly designed to keep you on your toes and maybe force a little build respect. It's a true test of your gamer mettle. Only place the combat slows down is sometimes with the target acquisition. The lock-on can occasionally decide it wants to fight a different enemy altogether. It's a known quirk, so just remember to get good at managing your camera stick. When you control the target and the combo, you truly feel overpowered. Moving on from the battle arena, let's talk about the world you're exploring. The Tower of Arcane is a playground of memories, and the level designs are seriously visually stunning. The developers did a fantastic job of creating these huge atmospheric spaces that really make you want to wander and uncover secrets. The world is interconnected too. It's built like a classic Metroidvania or action RPG hub, which means backtracking feels less like a chore and more like checking for missed loot or unclocking a new path with a recently acquired power-up. It's a gorgeous place to hang out, and the art style really does carry the experience. Now, for a heads up on the movement, especially during the platforming sections, let's call them spirited. They require a lot of commitment to your jumps. The camera doesn't always want to be your best friend when you're trying to be super precise, so you might miss a ledge or two. But hey, think of it as classic, old school challenge platforming. It rewards patience and precision. So if you're a speedrunner, you might find yourself needing a few extra takes on those leaps, but successfully landing a tricky jump feels like its own little achievement unlock. And I absolutely love the mix-up with the occasional 2D side-scrolling segments. It's a neat change of pace and a really clever level design mechanic that just breaks up the flow perfectly. Time to look at what this remaster actually brings to the table. This definitely feels like a patch 2.0 experience. The visual upgrades, especially that improved dynamic lighting and higher fidelity, really make that great art style truly pop. It cleans up a lot of visual haze from the originals. And the audio remains stellar. The soundtrack is an absolute banger. It perfectly captures the epic, mysterious mood of the world. Seriously, if you buy this for nothing else, the score is worth the price of admission. The developers clearly heard the community feedback. There are little quality of life buffs across the board that help smooth out some of the rough edges we've talked about earlier and makes combat flow a bit better, and overall stability is much improved. If you were ever waiting for the definitive way to experience the first two games, this compilation seems to be it. So let's bring it all together. What did we love and what still needs a few more grinding sessions? The high score section belongs to the dual combat system, the incredibly deep world lore, and that killer art style. On the flip side, we still have the distinctive voice acting, those movement moments that require true platforming commitment, and some very challenging boss encounters. Alright, so here's the final call. This is a must-buy for anyone who loves ambitious AA titles and enjoys digging into complex combat systems where mastering button layouts feels rewarding. And if you're okay with a few quirks, a little visual noise here, a tricky jump there, in exchange for a huge dose of passion and unique, then your hard-earned cash is safe right here. If you're brand new to the franchise, approach this knowing it's a passionate vision, not a perfect AAA package. If you're a fan of games like Nier or DMC, but want something with a little more indie soul, this delivers. For everyone else, I'd still recommend waiting for a good Steam sale to dip your toes into the water. Okay, so what is my honest take on Anima Gate of Memories 1 and 2 Remaster? I'm giving this a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's a wildly ambitious adventure that successfully polished its best features. It's a flawed gem, and sometimes those are the most fun to polish yourself. Okay, so what's your favorite part of this bizarre, lore-heavy world? Let me know in the comments below, and if you picked up the remaster, what's your go-to combo? Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next review. Bye!